We are looking at your Dynasty football trades on today's video.
That's right, baby.
Do you want your trades to be on this video series? It's actually quite simple.
Super
Go
easy.
ahead and sign up on flockfantasy.com/land. Make sure you're using the code LAND, LAND. If you choose the Mother Flocker tier, then you will have access to our Dynasty Trades text channel in Discord.
That's
Again,
right.
you need to use our code in order to unlock that. And everyone who is in that Dynasty Trades Discord will have their trades on this show each week. For you guys watching, thanks for hanging out with us. Drop a like to show some support. Subscribe if you like Dynasty content. And I want you to comment down below right now. What's a trade you've made this week? Maybe you fleeced somebody. Maybe you got fleeced.
Maybe.
The people will let you know in the comments. They definitely will let you know regardless. Okay, Badaki, let's go ahead and start here. We'll go from the top to the bottom.
Okay.
The first trade here is from Coach Said. And I just want to give a big shout out to everyone who has signed up using our
that's
code
awesome,
so
man.
far.
We
It's
appreciate
been
you.
really awesome to see.
Yeah.
And it's awesome seeing these unlockable community Discord text channels kind of coming to life. And that was kind of the goal as we grow to kind of keep it like this smaller community. So this is awesome to see. So
awesome.
cool. Shout out to Coach Said for signing up. CD for the 104. And Badaki, I think right now CD is worth around the 101, even in a superflex format. I think if you're looking at what wide receiver is equivalent to Bijan right now in the Dynasty community's eyes, I would say CD would be the closest to that. So
Completely
104
agree.
in a one quarterback league, huge win. I don't understand how that happens in a one quarterback format.
Yeah, I completely agree. 101, maybe even 102, but like you're not even getting JSN here in the one quarterback league. Whoever did trade for that 101, right? You're not even getting Quentin. Not even you're probably just at the edge getting Jahmyr Gibbs there, depending on how you feel. So yeah, CeeDee Lamb definitely wins this trade.
All right, what's up, Jared? It's a 12-team Superflex PPR tight end premium start 10 league. Looks like someone got Jordan Love. They sent away the 201 and a third. I'd be willing to pay this. I have a lot of
Exactly.
Jordan Love in my leagues, and I wouldn't sell him for this cheap, so I like it.
Completely agree. I mean, you winning here 201. If he becomes a starter, if he becomes a starter, I think he can easily. He's a first round pick.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay that.
I would.
We keep
Exactly.
talking about this in Dynasty
Exactly.
startup drafts. Like right now, he's going too late, and I think eventually he'll be like a into the 5th, 6th round pick in Superflex leagues.
Agreed. Completely agree.
All right, Proofy says from the Foxtrot League, you know it. All right, let's see. So from the Foxtrot League, so it looks like Proofy got the 101 in our rookie draft, the 301 and the 401. He gave up the 105, the 106, the 205, and the 306 to Hitman. What you think about this deal? I mean, if you look at it with players, maybe it's easier to break down.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of break it down that way. So you get 2 first round guys. Well, he sends away 2 first round guys for Bijan essentially. I guess it's kind of what you have to pay for him, right? I mean, I personally love Bijan, and I think this is what he's worth. But I'm actually will take the risk at the 105 and the 106. I don't know how you feel, and you get the 205, so you can get another running back. So the way I'm seeing this trade for Hitman is that I have a chance to get JSN or Anthony Richardson at the 105. And then at the 106, I can get a Quentin, a Jahmyr Gibbs, any one of those guys. And then the 205, obviously you get your best player available there. But any of these running backs that could potentially get draft capital, you get the depth there.
Sure.
So, but I can see why Bijan is so nice here. But I don't know. I'm willing to take the chance with the picks on the other side for Hitman. I think it's fairly even. That's what I would say.
I think at the 105, it's good now that within the community, Anthony Richardson is being propped up, and that would make the 105 more valuable.
Yeah.
I think if my team was in a decent position, I would pay this for the 101. I would pay this for Bijan Robinson. And I think because that's the 205, not like the 201 or the 202, I'm a little bit less worried about losing it because I gained the 301. And I feel like, yeah, there's definitely a difference in the 205 and the 301. But I think the 301, with how deep this running back class is, you could still find some really valuable players.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's where Brian Robinson went last year, and it wasn't as good of a running back class just as an example, right? You might have gotten Tyler Algier there, if depending on what your league thought. So I think team context is really important for this,
For sure.
and
For
it's
sure.
going to depend on if Proofy has a team that's just stacked. Yeah, I'm paying this for the 101 for sure. And if Hitman is like, I need more shots at the lotto, then I can understand why he would do it. So that's what I would say. I think it makes sense for both sides.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agree.
Han the Man, 12 team, start 10, full PPR, super flex. Okay, so he looks like he receives Jimmy G, Dak Prescott, Sky Moore, and the 207. He sends away Rashad White, Kenny Pickett, and the 202. So I think you and I talked about this trade with him. We were more like, how are you getting this deal done?
Yeah.
Because this is a fantastic deal for you. We were talking to him about it in the fancy hotline, which again, you unlock over being a mother flocker with our code. But I like this deal for him. I think Dak Prescott, again, we keep saying he's being disrespected. This is an example, I think, of him being disrespected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dak Prescott, it's phenomenal price right here. So I'm really happy getting him. I love Kenny Pickett, but you get Kenny Pickett in a startup, in the 5th, maybe even to 6th round, and Dak is easily a 2nd round guy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy taking the chance here and getting Sky Moore and Jimmy. You could probably sell Jimmy high later on in the season if you really wanted to. So
Yeah.
I like this trade.
I really love Sky Moore as a throw-in too, because
Mm-hmm.
I almost brought Sky Moore in a video this week, the one that you and I just recorded, which I don't know which one's coming out soon, so we won't say the title of it, but
Yeah.
I almost brought Sky Moore in that video because I think he is such a good value right now, and the moves the Chiefs are making would indicate that he is going to be more involved. So I like this trade all around, and Jimmy G signing a 3-year deal. You're right. The contract's interesting because you talked about this before. It could be an out after year 1, but he's only 31 years old. I think they're going to be middle of the road, so they're not going to be able to get a good quarterback next year.
I agree.
I as much as I love Rashad White, and I've talked about that, but this is a good pivot to Dak.
Yeah, completely agree there.
Basic Crown says this just went down in the Delta League. So
I'll
let you
Daniel Macy
I'll let
here.
you talk to us about this one. What is this trade? What's it looking like?
All right, so Casey gets DeAndre Swift, 204, and then Daniel Macy gets David Bell, the 24 third, and the 111. Okay.
At first, the 111 for whatever reason, in my mind it was the 311. Now I was thinking to myself, what's going on with this trade? But now it makes sense. The 111. What do you think about this?
I am kind of on the edge here because
You're much more pro Swift than I am.
I am pro Swift, but the reason why I'm pro Swift side still is because on this trade specifically is because of that 204. I think that 2nd round pick is high enough for me to really lean the Swift side. And now with the context that we have with the Browns inserting and trading for Elijah Moore, David Bell takes another step back, right? And what is David Bell now in this trade? It's nothing. So the 111 here, at your best bet, sometimes Zach Charbonnet does fall. I doubt it. He's going to go there because of the draft capital. Maybe you get a Zay Flowers. Maybe you get a Josh Downs. Maybe you get a Michael Mayer. Yeah. But I'm happy to take the chance on Swift here. I really am. I still believe in him.
I agree. I mean, the 111 to the 204, there's not a big enough difference there for me to justify losing Swift. You'd have to hope Charbonnet falls or one of these other guys get 2nd round draft capital that we're not, that we don't anticipate to just yet. But you're right. David Bell right now with Elijah Moore coming he's already behind Donovan Peoples-Jones, and it's probably not going to happen for him. So
it's a struggle now.
I like the Swift side of this personally.
Yeah, completely agree.
All right, Mitch says a little bit of an overpay on my end, but 100% worth it. I also have Hawkinson as at tight end. 12 team super flex PPR. I also had 324 first rounders prior to this trade. Okay, so it looks like he receives T. Higgins, a 24 first. We send away Kyle Pitts, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown.
Is this tight end? No, it's not tight end premium.
It's not. I can't. I'm sorry, Mitch. I can't send Kyle Pitts away.
Yeah. I mean, this one.
What do you do?
I would say this one's a little bit closer for me because I think T. Higgins is a significant upgrade. But I would say the 24 first, which we keep saying, it's hard to kind of trade for that pick right now because if that is the 112, you wish you had Kyle Pitts. If that is a top 5 pick, you're kind of buzzing, right? And that's how I'm seeing it. Because it's not that I'm not a believer in Hollywood Brown. I think he's going to struggle this year. Kyler Murray's going to miss some time. They still haven't re-signed him. What's going to happen there? Rashad Bateman there. I'm a believer in Rashad Bateman, but T. Higgins is such a significant bump up. But Kyle Pitts is also significant. Like you're losing such a big piece of your offense as well, or your team. What if that 24 first is Brock Bowers? We can't guarantee that. We can't guarantee that. I know that's probably what you're going to say. But hypothetically, if that is Brock Bowers, how are you feeling? Just
better. Obviously,
just your gut feeling. Okay, you feel better about the trade. Would you lean it if it's Brock though, or are you like, I'm still going to go with Kyle Pitts, knowing what you have with him?
It's just so difficult because in the time span right now to the draft next year, it just happens every year. Players that we anticipate to be, Sam Howell's a first round pick the year before. We went into the draft, ends up being a 5th round pick.
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
That's just one example, but do you know what I mean? It's just like really difficult.
I get what you're saying.
Here's what I will say.
It is very difficult.
I would say right now, T. Higgins and Kyle Pitts are very similarly valued. And I'm just trying to process this in real time. Anytime I see a trade that involves me not getting Kyle Pitts, I don't like that trade typically. So I'm trying to process it in real time and be realistic about this. Because I obviously have my own biases. Kyle Pitts and T. Higgins, I would say, are very closely valued.
Right. I would
There's
agree.
an argument to be made that Kyle Pitts should be valued higher than T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
But they're relatively even valued. Now, would I send a 2024 first for Rashad Bateman or Hollywood Brown? I think that depends on where that pick is. So without the context, I don't know how to give a solidified answer.
Right.
What I will say is if that's a top 6 pick, as much as I hate to say it, I'm okay with the T. Higgins side.
Okay.
But if that pick ends up being 108, 109, 110,
you lose the trade.
I want the Kyle Pitts side of this deal.
And I would agree there. I would agree.
He did mention that he had Hawkinson. What I would have tried to have done personally, and maybe he did try and it didn't work out, I would have paid more to make that Hawkinson, right? I would have paid more to get T. Higgins and make that Hawkinson instead of Kyle Pitts. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
I would have paid a premium if I was getting T. Higgins and a first back. Then let's put Hawkinson in there and a 2nd round pick, right? Like I would have paid the premium to keep Kyle Pitts before he inevitably does blow up at some point. So
agreed. I agree there in that motion. I would just say, I think a lot of people right now, including myself, not that I'm not a Kyle Pitts believer, where is this Falcons team going with the quarterback? I love how they're building around it, but when is that quarterback really going to be priority, which it doesn't feel like it is. Quote unquote, they like Lamar. Will they go with Lamar? Rumors. Do they trade up to get an A-Rich or Will Levis? Rumors, right? Looks like they're going to ride with Desmond Ridder for another year. Do we love that? Probably not. I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now.
yeah,
just trying to sell Kyle Pitts because they don't believe in the timeline of a quarterback. But at the same time, Kyle Pitts is 22 years old. So I can kind of see both sides.
Can I tell you what you've completely missed? You ready?
I'm listening.
The franchise quarterback is already in town, baby. Atlanta native, Georgia native, Taylor Heineke. The future is here. So
Taylor Heineke.
Wrap that around your head.
I looked at my phone thinking like, holy shit, did a trade just happen? That's literally what I did.
Breaking news. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? Okay, so it looks like he gets Drizzy Drake London 2 seconds and 24 on 25. He sends away Cooper Kupp, a 25 first and a 4th. So honestly, I know where this trade is from. I know the league that it's from. This feels like even value to me. And the people who are all in on Cooper Kupp are probably going to say that this is a steal.
Right.
But I think we can't undervalue Drake London. Every metric that you can possibly look at says this guy's probably going to be elite. So I would say this is pretty even. I prefer Drake London because I'm not like I've been anti-Cup since the injury, but
Mm-hmm.
where do you stand?
I prefer Drake London as well.
Okay.
A younger guy, you build on the younger team. Maybe Styles is more of a win now team. Styles been making a lot of moves in the league, by the way.
Yeah, he's popping
So
off.
many trades. He's popping off right now. But, he's trying to find value where value is at right now. Buying maybe Cooper Cup low in some sort of way, even though I don't think it is. But we'll see. I like the Drake London side, though. That's what I would say.
Yeah, same. Another trade we have here from Kyle: Joe Mixon, Curtis Samuel, the 310 for Kirk and Dobbs. And this is a trade that when Kyle asked me about it, I said, I got to be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want the Christian Kirk side of this. And I think Joe Mixon is a value right now in startups, in trades, but I don't think I would pay this price for him.
Okay, I would say the opposite because
Okay.
I do believe in Joe Mixon still, whether that's with the Bengals or him moving on. And I like this value. I mean, this is Joe Mixon, even not right now, but before all the nonsense happening, and not just the Bengals could be moving on from him, just the nonsense off the field, his value dropped. Without
Okay.
that, I think he would still be a first round pick, even with the rumors of him moving. That's my opinion. I could be wrong.
Sure.
But I would say that Christian Kirk is being overlooked
That
now.
that's kind of how I feel in this trade.
Now with Calvin Ridley, because Calvin Ridley does come in, but Christian Kirk now just solidifies himself in the slot even more. So I think that's really exciting as well. So that's how I'm seeing it.
And I would also say Dobbs was really good last year. And if okay, so here's the thing, right? When I look at the Kyle side of this trade, the only thing I want is Joe Mixon. And again, I like the Commanders. I don't want Curtis Samuel. Um, so I'm looking at it. First off, Kirk or Joe Mixon straight up. I'm taking Kirk. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna go the Kirk side of this.
I definitely hear.
That
I definitely
offense is
see you.
just ascending, and I think Trevor Lawrence is the type of receiver quarterback that's going to make multiple guys relevant. He's already done it with Ingram and Kirk,
Yeah.
and Zay Jones. Now we've just upgraded, and Zay Jones is probably the one who loses out, in my opinion.
Yeah. I definitely see that. But let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's definitely see what happens. I think it's more even than we think, but I'm okay taking a shot with Joe Mixon.
All right, Basie, 10 team, one quarterback, start 9, half PPR, so running backs are more valuable. Looks like you got Miles Sanders for the 110. 10 team, one quarterback, start 9. I think that makes sense. It might seem like an overpay for some people, but I think that makes a lot of sense in a one quarterback format.
Agreed.
The 110 is not as valuable in one quarterback. I think you might have slightly overpaid. He even says gut reaction for most would be I overpaid, but Sanders is going to Carolina.
Look, I think it does make sense. Like, okay, this is a 10-man league, and according to the community right now, if it is Superflex, Miles Sanders is worth a 201, essentially the 110, 110, 201, all the same. So I think you paid a fairly decent price. Obviously, it's Superflex, that's different price, but different setup.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with Miles Sanders here at the 110.
I'm happy with this as well, especially if he's competing. What I will say is this is an example where you put it into a trade calculator. And again, we use trade calculators as a reference, as a starting point. And it'll probably say that you overpaid for Miles Sanders, but this is what you should probably pay to get him on a 4-year contract in Carolina.
Yeah, agreed.
Kyle, another one from him. Love ya.
Kyle
Went down in
moving.
the golf league just now. Najee Harris, Chris Olave, the 407 for Hollywood Brown and Jonathan Taylor. You and I have talked about this trade, but Aki, I think we both prefer the Chris Olave Najee Harris side.
Completely agree. Yeah.
And I just think quickly, Najee Harris is being a little bit too undervalued right now in the community.
Yeah, and Olave is a massive step up from Hollywood Brown, and then Najee still a top 10 guy in our rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So you tier down in the running back room, but you tier significantly up in the wide receiver room. So I'm happy with that.
Agreed. The Mighty Booch, actually SSXP says traded my 106 201 Kittle for Garrett Wilson 303, 1.5 tight end premium, start 9. I feel like I got on Garrett Wilson before he blows up. 106, 201 and Kittle and tight end premium. I wouldn't say that it's a buy low because of the tight end
No,
premium with Kittle,
I
but
would
I do
agree.
think that I prefer Garrett Wilson in this deal.
I wow. Wow. I mean, I love Garrett Wilson. I think it's close.
Yeah.
Is that JSN? Is that Quinton at the 106? I think it's closer than we think, but I'm going to take Garrett Wilson's side. It's
Yeah.
close though. It is very, very close in my eyes.
Yeah. All right. Mighty Booch says Superflex start 10. My plan was to take a quarterback, then 102 or 103 at the turn, but
Right?
moved back. Still got in the same quarterback tier. Kyler at the 202, and the 103 rookie will be Stroud at the 208. Then got Jonathan Taylor at the 305. So looks like this is, again, a startup, I believe.
Yeah, startup trade.
So the 111, the 402 for the 208, 305, and a second, which would be Jonathan Taylor, CJ Stroud, right?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
I'm okay with it as well.
Yeah. All right, how much time do we have left? I just want to make sure we
We
get
have
through everyone's
about
trades.
8 minutes left. I think we
Okay,
could
good.
potentially squeeze it all in potentially.
Style Clash says Golf League Business, after much back and forth, was able to come to an agreement with my guy 7 Goat Rings, and I got some more Tua tags. Okay, so Tua tags, Terrace Marshall, the 110, and a fourth. We send away Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance, Kenneth Gainwell, and a third. I think if you have Trey Lance, it's just my personal opinion as someone who is obsessed with him all last offseason.
Right.
I think if you have Trey Lance, I think this is ideally how you would pivot off of him.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Getting to what is he worth right now in a straight up swap? Is that like the 112?
Is this Trey Lance?
Trey, yeah. Is he like the 112-ish? Okay, no, a little bit higher.
I would say 110 probably.
Okay,
Feels
just 110
like
straight
the territory.
swap. Okay, according to the community, it's like 110, 109. So okay, so you get the straight swap with the picks, which is good value according to the community, and then you get Tua, which is great. Okay, I'm happy with this trade. I'm happy with the Tua side.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah.
Mighty Booch says same league, moved up a bit, got Pittman, who was at the end of a big wide receiver tier for me. Okay, so it looks like it's a startup. 502 is Michael Pittman, 902 for the 602, the 911, and a second round pick. It's going to depend on where that second round pick is, but
Yeah.
I personally do like this trade, getting Michael Pittman and trading up for him.
Yeah, I would agree there as well.
My question is, who would be available at the 602 though? Because
I think
if we had a Jahan Dotson there or a Jerry Jeudy, probably wouldn't fall that far, right? Probably a 5th round guy, but a Debo and Ayuk.
yeah, I think these middle rounds are going to be very crucial. I said this in our live stream. Rounds 1 to 4 it feels like okay, you know what you're going to get, but the middle pack there, that's where the value is going to be significantly important for your team construction. So it really all depends there at the 602.
Yeah. Your league on Foxtrot. I think that these guys submitted each other's trades. Oh wait, Proofy. Maybe Proofy sent this one. He submitted this one twice.
Yeah. Okay. He just submitted twice.
Next one, 10 team, 1 quarterback, start 9, 1 PPR, moved out of the 101. So it's like Proofy got Ken Walker,
Wow.
a 24 first, the 103 for Jameson Williams in the 101. I'm all aboard this kind of trade moving out of the 101. Yeah, I like this.
I do like it as well. You know, get to the 103. Was at a quarterback you probably need. Kenneth Walker, you still pivot, which is great.
1 quarterback, remember.
Oh, 1 quarterback. Okay, perfect. Say less. I'm happy with that.
So at the 103, you'll have your choice between probably Quentin Johnston, maybe Jackson.
Maybe Jackson, Jameer. Any other of those wide receivers if they get the draft capital.
And another trade from Proofy says, paid a high price for Burrow, and y'all will hate on it, but I love the deal. 12-team Superflex, start 11, half tight end premium. Johnson can be flex with the possibility of other 2 players. So we got Burrow for Tua, the 103, and a 24 first. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. In a start 11, think I want to. I don't know. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't hate the deal.
I think there's just too many. I think he's leaning on a lot of people. I mean, Jawan Johnson, Trey McBride to start in your flexes. Even Darnell Mooney. Like, I wonder what that bench looks like. I want more solidified people there.
Yeah.
I just want more solidified people at those flex options. I don't believe in Jawan Johnson. He said he thinks Jawan could be flex with a possible 2 other players. So I think it's a risk. But this is what you have to pay for Joe Burrow.
It's a half tight end premium, so it's 1.5. But yeah, you're right. This starting roster to me doesn't indicate that we have a strong enough starting lineup to make a move like that with how many starting, players we need to have.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And then
I don't
you give
dislike
up your first
it,
in
Proofy.
24.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I just wouldn't have paid. I wouldn't have done it given the league format.
Yeah, agreed.
And then the last trade is from Brock here, 12-team non-super flex, half PPR, Khalil Herbert and the 202 for DK Metcalf. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah,
DK Metcalf.
DK every day. I mean, this is how you sell Khalil Herbert high, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
exactly. Khalil Herbert and the 202 for DK, 100% every single day. Give me DK.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Do us a favor. Drop a like to show some support. Subscribe if you like Dynasty content.
Come on, baby.
Comment down below a trade that you have made. And we will see you guys in the next video. All love. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, LAND, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.
It's so easy. Even your grandma could scan that QR code right there.